Ordinary marinated salmon. Welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage, and we open on this. Just a normal boost from that meal, but +1 speed is what I wanted there. No packed lunch though. Last time we unlocked more potential out of Emblem Lynn, and this time we will be heading out to our next destination. Did I speak to the Soul Royals here?
Now then.
Oh, okay, some of the retainers are talking about the reunion of Ivy and Hortensia. But now we head out to the Northern Fortress. Victorious at Solm Palace and against Lynn, the party seeks the Ring of the Crux of Fate at the Northern Fortress. Oh boy. Guess what emblem we're meeting today? I'll give you a hint, we should probably be wearing masks to protect our faces.
My new moves are coming together nicely. Just a bit more practice and I'll call it a day. And this spot, it's perfect for rehearsal. So quiet and empty. What is that? No good. I'm trapped here. Is it my fate to die like this? It's such a pity to be caught so unprepared. I'd have practiced combat as well as dance.
Hurry! You must get to safety now!
Who said that?
Oh, thank goodness. You can hear what I'm saying, can't you? Follow the sound of my voice. You can hide in here. There's a door to your right. Now go! Hurry!
I'm coming.
Corrupted slapstick. Never thought I'd see it, but it works surprisingly well.
Is the Northern Fortress that frightening?
Yep. My ancestors designed it that way. Didn't want people to go poking around.
Because usually it's the one sealed within who does the poking.
The locals won't get near the place. They say ghosts wander the ruins. A haunted castle. Lately, some have heard a young woman's voice calling out from inside.
And those who approach the ruins run in fear of the ghost who touches faces.
Relax. That's just the local lore.
Then why did you make it sound so real?
Sorry. I shouldn't be talking. I've never even been there. Mom always told me to stay away so nobody would figure out the ring's location.
So kind of like with Micaiah and Alfred.
There it is now. The Northern Fortress.
For an abandoned fortress, it's awfully noisy.
Wait a sec. The Corrupted! They've gotten in!
Let's go. We can't let them get the ring.
I like how she talks about that in the same way you'd be like, cockroaches have gotten into this place. Which, I mean, I guess Corrupted are kind of this world's equivalent of that kind of thing. It's just that, there are vermin that can kill you.
Oh no.
Yeah, this place is swarming. Guess it is a little haunted, huh? Hang on. Divine One, look! There's someone here.
They have us well and truly surrounded. Again. Still, safer inside than out in the open. Thank you, Ring.
I was telling you to hide, not come looking for me.
How could I stay away? A talking ring. You really set off those creatures as well. I take it you're a princess, trapped in this unusual form by a wicked curse. Let me help.
Yes, you see, her terrible power had to be sealed within a ring, lest she touch everyone's faces.
Actually, I'm...
No need to persuade me, Your Highness. I'm not one to doubt an unusual story. Oh, spirit of the cards, cast your light upon the path before us.
And I guess this guy plays Yu-Gi-Oh!
You're a fortune teller, What are your cards saying to you?
Le Dragon. It means help may come from an unexpected source. I suppose we'll just have to hold off the beasts until it arrives.
So, that unexpected source will be us. We can only bring 9 characters to this though, which means I'm actually going to have to leave somebody behind. Yeah, actually several people behind, huh? So here's the thing about this map. You need fast movement in this map. Because as much as it seems like this is an escape point, things will change, let's just say. Also, this map introduces many people's least favorite terrain in the game. Miasma. Allied defense and resistance minus 20. Foe defense and resistance plus 20. Yeah, Miasma sucks, and the worst part is it comes back in skirmishes. So, generally don't do skirmishes on this map, it's not worth bothering with. But we also have Seadoll here, as you can see, he is a dancer. The first canonical male dancer in the series, unless you count bards and the characters in Three Houses who can become dancers. He can hold out reasonably well as the enemies around him aren't all that strong, but yeah, we're facing mostly level 20 unpromoted enemies, so this is about the point in the game where they probably expect you to have promoted a lot of your army. So yeah, who to choose here? It just... it'd be a shame if I had to leave out Louis again, because he's kind of finally started getting decent, and he is definitely behind as far as levels go, but again... You do need to be moving quickly in this map. And this is not a fog of war battle, but Yunaka might still be useful, but also I would kind of like to try out Alcaris with Lyn a little bit. And I'd like to at least try using Tamara a bit more. You know, I have been using Anna a lot lately, even though her level does look like it's falling behind, even though her level looks a little lower than some of the others. Yeah, I think now's about the time to swap in some other people. Now, Emblem rings. Yeah, Ivy could also make good use of this, but Astra Storms may be useful in clearing the path.
Lady Lyn,
Leave it to me.
And I think now is the time I'd like to try Byleth on a mystical unit.
Violet!
I'm ready.
Which means you'll get Spur Attack back. And if you're taking Byleth on a mystical unit, Surge is very nice to have. And Clan will take back Dire Thunder. And let's get moving.
That guy's not here to steal the ring. I think he's trying to protect it.
He's clearly no friend of the corrupted. Let's give him a hand. It looks like he could use one.
And I'm now just picturing them just throwing a disembodied hand to him. Protect Seadoll and help him escape. So the objective is just for Seadoll to escape, not for anyone else. But we obviously need to get to him quickly, and that may or may not be a bit of an issue because this starting room, don't underestimate it. If you rush in
Whatever you need.
and get dogpiled by everything here, yeah, you can kind of get a little bit wrecked. Hang on. Actually, that might help. And it would get you into closer range for your chain attacks too. So I do believe, yeah, that actually puts you in kill range. I can do this with people besides Aaliyah.
I'll help.
And also we get dual assist.
Was that too much?
Well, not really. We need to get the enemies off of Seadoll's back as quickly as possible.
No mistakes.
So, Ivy, huh? Can Ivy take this guy out? Okay, she can. I'm sort of wondering if I need to use Goddess Dance here, because sometimes Goddess Dance does really, really help to clear away these initial enemies.
There is no escape.
Okay, that was lucky. Not that I needed it, but still.
Unforgivable.
It's nice to see Ivy looking cool. So that is... okay, it's just fire. In fact, it does barely any damage to Yunaka, and probably even less to Ivy, but we still have two of these axe guys, and...
I'll do my best.
okay. So,
Emblem, engage!
if I were to engage with Byleth here, I get to attack with Hellfire from that far away, which is fun. However, Clan can already Dire Thunder, but how badly does that gimp his speed? 18. And you have 32 attack power. Oh, I hope this doesn't backfire. I think most of the enemies are going to go for Seadoll, though.
Never underestimate me.
Okay, well that was actually exactly enough damage to beat this guy also. Crit 69, because, yeah. How fitting that we are getting a 69 crit in the map where we'll be seeing Emblem Corrin.
Yes.
So whoever is here, It's kind of weird to be blowing all your engages this early, but
Emblem, engage!
that mage is not really a threat to anybody right now. So I'd probably rather Astra Storm. Yeah, Radiant Bow Astra Storm can be quite effective too. But with the Silver Bow, yeah, I can get rid of the mage. I suppose I will go for this.
By my hand! I'll apologize later.
And skipping that because I get the feeling this chapter is going to go on for, let's just say, longer than this.
Anytime.
This is one of those, like, when I first saw this map, I was like, yeah, they can't be that simple.
Here goes.
Especially since there's a whole lot of doors over here, and like here and here and here, where you're like, yes, I wonder, is this gonna be a, are they gonna debate you with this chapter? You see how Leo has 80 avoid if I put him there because of all those, and that's just C support surrounding him, but no, I'd rather he attack any of my mages because that way he dies, so yeah, I'm gonna, although Aaliyah does need to hightail it to Seedall. I guess I'll have Aaliyah go here for now. Okay, so the Google men are attacking. That's a bit of an in-joke with me because when I first played Shadow Dragon in Japanese, I saw the Japanese like automatically for laughter, which was actually but I misread it as and then in my head that's how bandits laugh. But I mean, these aren't technically bandits, but I guess they sure act like bandits. Not being able to double on the counterattack is a little bit unfortunate. But okay, yeah. Because these are destructible walls, so the enemies down here aren't a threat to Seedall immediately, which is good. I guess I can Silver Bow this guy. Exactly enough. Alpra's been doing exactly enough quite often.
I had no choice but to win.
Part of me almost wishes that arts were the ones that debuffed enemies, not daggers, because daggers don't really need a whole lot of help being useful because they're already quite powerful. Okay, and I need to get their bond up in. I probably should have bond fragmented them to level 10 actually, but anyway. And it's going to take one more turn for Aaliyah to be able to...
Thank you.
Actually, yeah, I hate using Time Crystal for things like that, but it's like when I realize, oh, there might be a better way, because if I were to rescue somebody, I could also rescue Staff Seedall himself, but, yeah, let's send Jean in. Because Clan can take out the first X-Men. And let's get you a little closer, I guess.
I'm okay.
Yes, and you're still okay, even if you get stepped on by a giant stone jaguar. That's still one of my favorite jokes from Road to El Dorado. The guy gets stepped on by the giant, like the villain's giant jaguar statue, and is just like, oh no. Firstly, he gets mauled by it, and then he says, "I'm okay," and then it stomps on him, and then you just hear a muffled, "I'm still okay." Apparently, they had to put that in so the film's age rating wouldn't go up, but I honestly think it's a lot funnier if he's still alive. Yeah, there's honestly been a few cases in various media where I've seen where the censored version I actually think is funnier than the uncensored version.
I need to be more
Or, like, in some cases, actually more horrifying. There's a case in Xenosaga where, there's a thing that was technically censorship, but honestly, I find the censored version way more horrifying than the uncensored version. Like, the implications behind, like, the censored version are actually even more disturbing. But in terms of something being funnier, it reminds me of, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 trailers, where the trailers had, when, like, Peter Quill makes the, like, middle finger gesture, when they're being brought into the prison. The trailers had that, like, censored with the machine saying, "Obscene gesture detected." That was so much funnier than just showing the middle finger straight. Like, technically they only did that so the trailers wouldn't have a higher age rating, but, again, it's just not as funny when you just outright see the middle finger without that context, especially since he still says, like, I didn't know how that was how the machine worked. But anyway, let's talk to our dancer friend, and it's kind of fitting that the dancer comes with a certain emblem.
You there. Are you hurt?
Who are you?
Don't worry, I'm not your enemy. I'm the Divine Dragon.
The Divine Dragon, you say? What do you know? My cards spoke true.
Normally the Arcana aren't meant to be that literal, because otherwise you could just draw the devil and that would get really bad.
Unexpected source indeed. Thank you. I am Seedal, a traveling dancer. I was out there rehearsing when those creatures appeared. A talking ring called me to safety.
A talking, face-touching ring.
A talking ring, hmm?
Yes. I believe it's a young princess who fell victim to some sort of curse. Isn't that awful?
Ah yes, the curse of censorship. Speaking of censorship.
Not a curse, exactly.
You know her story, then? Tell me, who is this mysterious ring woman?
Oh boy, that's a long, very complicated, and very awkward story.
Hand it to me, and we'll find out together.
All right.
Bare your fangs, Emblem of Fates!
Corrin is a strange and often misunderstood emblem, but a very good one when used right. Sadly, their join chapter isn't the best showcase of them, which I'll rant about later. Their stats boost HP, magic, and resistance, and the HP boost is pretty high, making them a surprisingly good emblem for tanking. But it's their first sync skill that really stands out. They have other sync skills, but like Byleth, I'm giving this one its own page. Dragon Vein doesn't even require you to be engaged with Corrin, and at the cost of your turn, it allows you to essentially create terrain. Before I go over each one, an important thing to note is this terrain affects both sides equally. The beneficial effects can also benefit enemies, and the harmful effects can also harm you, so be careful where you place it. Backup units create stone pillars that raise defense and avoid, good if you're choke pointing. Cavalry units create the same kind of water tiles that appeared in Chapter 11, though in a checkerboard pattern that requires some thought to use to its fullest. Speaking of which, Coverts have probably the most no-brainer of Corrin's abilities, and the reason why they were misunderstood for so long. It creates a 3x3 square of fog that raises the avoid of everyone inside it, and covert units obviously get this bonus doubled. In the early days of Engage, this saw a lot of use on Yunaka, but the hype for this build has died down a lot as the game aged. Mostly because if you rely on it alone, you don't get any of Corrin's other veins, and they can also be good. Armored units create vines that grant break immunity, letting non-armors enjoy some enemy phase offense. Flyers create a healing glow that restores HP. Mystical units create flames that not only cause damage, they also heavily slow the enemy's movement. This is very similar to Roy's Engage attack, except it's usable every single turn. Alongside Corrin's boost to magic, this makes Mystical some of the better users of her. Finally, Key Adepts create ice pillars that are exactly the same as the Obstruct Staff, just in an area. But the biggest thing here to note is that dragons get access to every single one of these at all times. This makes Corrin a pretty good emblem for Alear if you keep them in Divine Dragon, giving them an incredibly versatile support role. And that's before going into Corrin's other sync skills. At Bond 3, she gets quality time. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Whatever you call it, it restores 5 HP to all adjacent allies after you act and slightly increases support level with them. More of a silly reference than anything, but 5 HP can sometimes be helpful. The really helpful thing though is Draconic Hex at Bond rank 8. If Corrin's user initiates combat, it debuffs the target's stats by 4, which is very significant, especially against bosses. The penalties recover by 1 each turn, but the enemy will usually be dead before they wear off. Draconic Hex also combos well with Corrin's Engage skill, Dreadful Aura. This freezes the target and all adjacent foes when Corrin's user initiates combat. Covert units also debuff the target's avoid by 20. All of this gives Corrin the interesting and somewhat unique role of shutting down dangerous foes with debuffs, and it's always a good idea to use them first against bosses. Her engage attack is Torrential Roar, yet another final smash that's become canon. It attacks 3 spaces in a line with the Dragon Fang engage weapon, and turns those tiles into water terrain afterwards. Dragons get range +1. Now, this typically doesn't kill a lot of things, but remember that the chosen target of this engage attack is also hit by Dreadful Aura and Draconic Hex, and will have their avoid lowered by the water afterwards, contributing even further to Corrin's role as a debilitator and boss killer. But if Corrin has a weakness, it's her engage weapons, which I think are among the worst in the game. The dual katana has the same effect as Roy's Lance Reaver, but it's pretty weak. While the wakizashi is nice in theory, but it is locked to 2 range specifically, and debuffs your avoid by 10. It's also pretty weak. I've also listed the stats of Dragon Fang here, as this is what Corrin's engage attack is calculated from. As far as weaknesses go, Corrin's skill inheritance is also a little barren. The only weapon proficiency she grants is swords, and you already have plenty of those by now. Sword focus is also meh. I just realized the only weapons they gave focus skills to are arts, bows, and swords, i.e. the weapon types that don't need help with accuracy. Okay then. But the HP plus skills are pretty nice for how cheap they are. And, although expensive, Draconic Hex is a very significant inheritable skill. Let's just say, you can give this to somebody with Lyn, and apply it from 10 to 20 spaces away with Astra Storm. And most characters who join from here on start with enough SP to pick it up either right away or very soon. Overall, Corrin excels at survivability and slowing down the enemy, either via terrain or with stat debuffs. She's much more than just makes Yunaka better.
I am Emblem Corrin. I'll fight with all I have. Thank you for finding me. I'll help ensure the path you decide to walk is the right one.
But we can't do that anymore because Revelation is unavailable because Nintendo shut down the servers.
Thank you, Emblem Corrin. I'm sorry I kept you waiting for so long.
And here we see that dragons in a lot of earlier games had pointy ears and Aaliyah doesn't, and a lot of people wish that they did.
An emblem? Really? One of the godlike figures of legend.
Seadoll, would you fight by Corrin's side? We could use your help getting out of here.
No, Seadoll, no! Don't fight by Corrin's side, at least not in this chapter.
It would be my pleasure. This world, wonders upon wonders.
I'll explain why I said that in a moment. Let's just say that I personally think this is the one time that the game does a horrible job of giving you a good first impression of an emblem. And yep.
Huh? Did those doors just...
Of course it wouldn't be that easy.
We won't be able to escape the way we came in. Let's try that path over there.
Yeah, the first time I played this map I was like, yeah, it was kind of obvious it would work this way. They wouldn't just not use the rest of the map after all. I can kind of actually rescue somebody. So, what I was saying before, I feel bad using up these stars, but it's probably better than hoarding them. Because, what I said before about this map, you actually do want to hurry. Reinforcements will eventually start spawning from, like, the very beginning, and they are very strong reinforcements. You don't really want to dawdle here. You want to be moving forward. And that's why I hate the fact that they put Seadoll on Corrin. Or the other way around. Sorry, Corrin on Seadoll.
I was in such a rush earlier. I didn't notice the miasma all over the place.
The creatures must have brought it with them. Certainly wasn't here before. Use my power to dispel the miasma and open a path for your allies.
Yes, dispel the miasma, but do the exact opposite of open a path for your allies. So, on a key adept, as I will have explained, Dragon Vein creates ice pillars that hinder movement on a map where you want to be running forward as fast as possible. Why would they do this? This is like the worst possible person they could have put Corrin on for this map. Because you want to use it to clear the miasma, and the game intends you to do it here.
The choice is yours.
So I guess I'm gonna show that as well. But this means that also, oh look, we have some obstacles in front of us, and now I have to waste my character's actions.
Divine One, as a dancer, I can raise your allies' spirits with my graceful movements.
Yes, I've already moved you though.
Please, call upon my abilities as you see fit.
So, yes, this is another reason why I hate the fact that they gave, Corrin to Seedol. Because if Seedol uses Dragon Vein, he can't dance in the same turn. And you want him dancing all the time. So yes, dancing lets you grant another turn to an ally. This makes Seedol pretty amazing, and generally, like, someone you want to use. But, like, here's the thing. So, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, the miasma's gone, but now I have to waste actions of everyone breaking the ice that I just made. Like, sorry if it seems like I'm just getting, like, really overly angry at this, but it's just, this actually does genuinely bug me. I think they made a terrible, terrible choice giving Seedol, or at least, you know, okay, firstly, I don't want to do that. That's going to get me, I think actually, I did actually lose Ivy to that in the past. Ah, there's actually a couple of mages back there, including some thunder mages. Okay.
Whoa, engage!
You said it, Amber, because I'm going to do this, use, Ragnall to destroy one of these pillars. And that way, one of the mages at least is going to get counterattacked, and is not going to be able to attack on the miasma. But still, like, this is just something that does genuinely bug me about the way that they handled this chapter. It's just like, this is not a good first impression for Corrin at all. And I don't really want to send any more people in there yet. Well, I suppose I can send you a little bit in there, and I can send you a lot bit in there. Rewarp may be useful, but probably a little later in this map. Unless we get to hear Bright Sandstorm longer, but just, like, I wouldn't say this is, like, my least favorite map in Engage. I just don't like the way they introduce Corrin. It's just like, even key adepts with Corrin aren't terrible in most circumstances, but in a map where you need to be constantly progressing forward, putting giant ice pillars directly in your path and having that be the only way you can get rid of miasma is just not something that is, well, good. I really like the way Emblem looks, though. I guess we saw that in the last chapter, but didn't really pay much attention. Okay, you did attack for the miasma, which means that already Amber's lost quite a bit of health, too. That you have enormous defense. I mean, at least the enemies are breaking some of them for us, but okay, yeah, like I said, enormous defense. So that means that I can get my Wrath going. Yeah, I'm very likely to crit at least one of those. But at the same time, is Irvan gonna... Nope, Irvan doesn't quite one-shot you, so I'll actually do this and take a little bit of damage myself. I was going to say that in general, you don't really want to fight much around miasma, but the game's not going to give us much choice, let's say. Because let's also say that this is not going to be the last time we encounter miasma in a chapter. And it gets even worse. Trust me, oh boy, does it get worse. How about I eliminate one of them from range? Still going to take 10 damage out of this, but it's probably fine. Oh wait, no, I get Alacrity, don't I? I should get Alacrity at least. Yep, I got Alacrity.
I'll apologize later.
Oftentimes I don't even need to inherit the plus versions of Alacrity. And yeah, with that, you can get in a little closer and use your, Is it better if Timera does this? Because fighting on the player phase, I don't get broken, and she needs the experience a little more. And that frees up Jean to heal.
You have my respect.
Speaking of dancing, though, I like the way that Timera's animations, like, look with the lance. It's just kind of cool just seeing her do all those darting motions around with her spears. Okay, what I will be doing here is I'm going to be dancing for you so that you can move out of the way so that Jean can heal Amber.
Thank you.
Yeah, that dance looks like it has a strangely dark, miasmic aura to it. And I think I can longbow that door. Yeah, I didn't want to completely destroy the door yet, because there's definitely enemies lurking in there. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to canter that much further. Yeah, normally I don't heal people who have Wrath builds going, but... I mean, I suppose you could canter into the miasma. But, as long as there aren't any enemies around, that's not going to set me back all that much.
I'll get the next one.
Oh, he must have died to a chain attack. This is why I don't like skipping animations that much, because oftentimes stuff like that happens and you miss it. And Ivy will, Okay, Ivy can try and break that door. If I do that, bad things may happen. I have this weird suspicion in my head that there might be a Wolf Knight in there, but that could just be me thinking of skirmishes. I tried a skirmish in this map once on Maddening, and it did not end well at all. So okay then, let's bust through this door. Okay, right, there's a couple of mages there, and okay, you don't even have thunder, right? Still mostly unpromoted enemies though. I forget if these enemies are promoted on Maddening, because sometimes Maddening does do that. Okay, I can actually dance and get Timera in there. They expect me to be skipping Seol's dance animations. Well, I don't think there's a way to individually turn off dance animations and also turn off, without also turning off staff animations, but, oh right, Timera gets broken if she does that, because only Lancers. That is actually a problem of only having one weapon type. And no matter what I do here, I'm probably going to get at least one enemy that is going to attack from Miasma. But from there, only the mage can attack you. I mean, I doubt you'll take the bait, because oftentimes enemies like to avoid counterattacks, unless you don't want to. I mean, I think you know that Ivy doesn't do a lot of damage to you back, so... Yeah, Alira's falling a little behind, and that's not great. You actually did take the bait on Timera? Okay. Well, I guess you're just very eager to return to your peaceful rest.
Think whatever you like.
And that guy clearly wasn't thinking. So Ivy... yeah. I've had some people say that they think, oh, I should not have equipped Thunder. That was dumb. Speaking of your brain cells being gone. Yeah, that was silly. But yes, I've heard some people say things like giving steel weapons extra crit was a mistake. I kind of agree. It definitely helps enemies more than it helps you. Ah, I just had an interesting idea. So this guy's on Miasma, right? Well, I can smash him out of the Miasma. Yeah, see, smash weapons they're a lot more useful than you might think. So yeah, he's off the Miasma now, which will make him a lot easier to take out by somebody like, don't think Clan will be able to get him there, so I think Alpers kind of has to. So yeah, that's again, there's a cool use of smash weapons. Just, I honestly think like it's quite easy to underestimate smash weapons. In fact, speaking of which, nice one, Luna crit, when it was totally necessary, but still.
I had no choice but to win.
I should probably use the Smash Magic Axe on somebody. I do think, though, I'm going to be using Seedol's Dance on you this turn.
Me first.
Kind of hope that I'll be able to get him into... I don't know if I'll be able to get him into range of enemies, actually. Still have 5 movement. Oh, actually, he can reach all the way over there. Of course, the only thing that'll be able to attack him is a mage with L Surge, so I can use a melee weapon against that, I suppose. I just kind of want to get more use out of the Ike Engage.
That's a ton!
I do like that they made the dance animations kind of, like, short in this game, because if they're too long, then, yeah, the ones in the Game Boy Advance games, I often had to turn those off, because it's just... They take a pretty long time. Haven't really shown Irvine a whole ton. Actually, if multiple of them run in at once, they're in for a surprise.
I will endure.
In fact, I can even tempt multiple of them to run in at once. Yeah, you guys can't get into chain attack range. One of them is a sword master, though. I'll have to remember that. Yeah, all this miasma over here, you're kind of expected to clear it with Corrin, but I don't like doing that, because again, it blocks the path directly in front of you, which is a bad thing on an escape chapter where you're supposed to be running for it. Anyway... You take a bit of a hit there, and then the other one goes into Ivy, and... okay. Okay, a crit there thankfully wouldn't have killed me. Okay, that's out of Great Ether, though, which is a shame.
I won't let anyone die.
You know, is that line there? Is that a reference to that speech that Grail made that Ike kind of gives at the end of the game as well? Of course, giving that speech is optional. Like, you get the option to turn down speaking to the troops at the very end. But yeah, it's kind of, you get some kind of funny dialogue if you do, but it's just like, who wouldn't have Ike give that speech? It's one of his best speeches, and that's really saying something, given that it's Ike and he's amazing at basically everything. Talking like Ike is a Gary Stu, but honestly, I mean, he kind of is in Radiant Dawn to an extent.
I'll apologize later.
He doesn't really have as much of the depth that he had in Path of Radiance, but by that point he already had gone through his character arc, so I suppose it's a little bit more excusable. Okay, you aren't in the miasma, though. And so, let's see. Oh, the Levin sword does enough, but for some reason your evasion is ridiculous because... Oh, right, because you're on pillars, that's why. Okay. Apparently the Pillar Men are a thing in something. I forget if it's JoJo or if it's Earthbound. I think it's one of the two. Well, Mother... I think it's like Mother 3, actually. So, this room down here is optional. And I think there are still enemies in it. Oh yes, I do still have my ridiculous Leaning Grave hit rate to work off of there, but I feel like you're actually falling a little bit more behind than I would like of you.
Ready
right
for
now.
a fight.
How that's a 6% chance to knock you off the terrain and put you on even worse terrain, I guess. So I'll try this. This might not work. We'll see.
My legend starts now.
Oh, but it definitely works.
Just like a hero.
It's still kind of weird that enemy swordmasters don't actually have a whole lot of crit in this game, usually. And now, do I dare? I'm gonna try this. What's down there? There is... Okay, there are just a couple of axe guys. No, like, I thought for a second there was a swordmaster down there, but I am probably just in the midst of traumatic flashbacks to my, I was saying Jean's falling behind, but I think I'd rather get, you in there. In fact, Seedol and Yunaka have a pretty interesting support chain, too. Because, yeah, well, I mean, I would say Yunaka would be able to one-round one of them, but maybe she won't. She won't. Of course, with the stiletto, probably. I don't like that I'm going to have to use up some additional actions to break that other door, unless I use Yunaka to unlock it, okay? That wasn't necessary, but still.
Was that too much?
Also, I keep forgetting, but I actually did inherit Vantage on Yunaka. So she's got that. But, okay. She can reach the chest, too.
Let's do this.
I wonder if Chimera can take this guy out, and she can, because this will put her closer to getting Sandstorm, which she kind of relies on. She's been doing, honestly, kind of well for me, but I kind of, like, it's probably more Fenzilier than her.
You have my respect.
And any Lance user can use Fenzilier, so this probably isn't like a Chimera redemption moment for me, but okay. Let's grab this. Energy drop. Okay, that probably was worth going out of my way for. Also, there is an Emblem energy down there. You kind of need to go a little out of your way to get that, but it can be nice to have. Okay, at this point, I think I will definitely have Seadoll dance. But first, firstly, let's see. Is Alcrest strong enough to... No, he is not. Unless the Radiant Bow is somehow... Nope, it's not. Because doors don't really care about defense versus resistance. You just do flat damage equal to your attack power. Okay, so in here, this part of the map can actually be kind of bad if you rush in here without really thinking. Trust me, I've done that before, because there's a lot of miasma. So the enemies obviously get very, very tanky from said miasma. Let's just get Seadoll over here. See, again, I am not likely to end up using the Dragon Vein more than once in this map. It's just it would have been... I get that they couldn't have really given it to anyone else here, because, like, Seadoll was the only one who joined, so, like, somebody else, they'd have to forcibly get rid of whatever emblem they had equipped, and that would be kind of a jerk move, so they had to give it to the person who just joined, but even then... It's just, of all the people they could have given it to, Seadoll is just maybe the worst first impression for Corrin to have. And it's a shame, because Corrin is a really good emblem. Oh, it's a Flame Lance there. Okay. But also L-Surge. Ah, yeah, so you might think, oh, I can just put someone there, but that means that 3 enemies will be able to attack them. I'm wondering right now if Ivy can take it, though. I don't want to... because that is a Steel Lance, which means she could potentially get crit. Yeah, there's really no reason for me to do that yet. I'm in a good position to rush in. And yeah, that's why...
More? Divine One, we can't keep this up. Time to make our escape.
You need to be moving quickly. Also, why are you saying something, Alfred? Yeah, I do. Once again, I wish Saline was like the character in the main story. But yeah, so these are very strong warriors with killer axes. They don't have Void Curse, so you can try and fight them for experience if you want, which on the lower difficulties is probably recommended. Oh, now might actually be a good time for Byleth. Yeah, okay, there are a lot of enemies in there, though, so I'll just have to I'll have to make this count, but let's see. Ah, okay, Alcrest can take out one of them with a longbow.
I will protect everyone.
And here's why they call him All Crits.
I had no choice but to win.
He's getting so many unnecessary crits and unnecessary Lunas. But, I mean, that's better than actually needing Luna and not getting it, which usually happens. So it can be fine when Luna is just a bonus. So, yeah, I probably do need to have Amber attack in melee range. And one shot, because why not? Yeah, with Ike, you don't really care about taking a hit first with a smash weapon, at least sometimes.
That settles it.
If you're fighting like a sword master, though, you probably do. And I know that animation of just smashing the enemy against the wall is totally unnecessary, but it's still funny to see. Yeah, even you have a crit rate, but I guess that is just Ivy's low luck working. And the brilliant Flame Lance, ladies and gentlemen! For some reason, they made it worse than the... Okay. Grasping Void counts as the enemy wielding magic if they're using, That's interesting, okay. But yeah, like, it's not really the greatest thing out there. Oh, I haven't really got to show off Goddess Dance with Seadoll, because you can potentially get 6 refreshes by doing that. It's amazing. Probably a little overkill, but still. And now...
Help me, Emblem!
Yes, we'll indeed get your help, because it is time for the Dance of the Goddess!
Let the lesson begin.
Did I ever get the battalion that gave this when I played Three Houses? I forget if I did. I know I missed the Opera Company volunteers, because, seriously, who gets the Opera Company volunteers in their first playthrough? Everyone here also just gained plus 5, plus 4, I think, to magic. So that's going to be, I don't know if I should move Jean in, but... Yeah, I wanted to grab that experience... Well, I didn't know it was an experience tile, but still. Okay. Oh, and you have Lynn back. But firstly, I want to see... I might even be able to get rid of all 4 of these. It means that everybody needs to kill one enemy. And you're on Miasma, which makes that a very difficult thing to ask. Except I still kill you even on the Miasma, because although... yeah. I do have to make sure that... If I kill everything else, though, and I think Ivy and Clan have the physical enemies covered. Oh, and that missed anyway.
Just like a hero.
But I'm sure it would have been fine even if that hadn't missed. Okay, so that's dead. I'm getting even closer to maxing out Ike, and now you can... Yeah, see, here... Actually, here, I'll do this, because this is at least a higher chance of one-shotting. Because either I crit, or I get, like, Luna.
I won't miss.
And I crit, okay.
I'll apologize later.
And now Clan should be able to finish off. Yes, he can. And then hopefully Ivy finishes the other. I'm not sure if Chaos Style was, like, totally necessary here. Probably wasn't, because Clan is just very fast, and that is admittedly something that is kind of hard for mages to do in this game, unless you use Lin on them. And yeah, Ivy does seem to one-round this guy. Okay, well, I don't think she dies even if she gets crit. She'll take 33. But she did not get crit anyway. Okay.
Unforgivable.
Hang on. Doesn't Grasp... Wait, let me just check Grasping Void again. Attacking with a tome... Oh, okay. It doesn't mean they need to use a tome. It's just you deal damage equal to half of their magic stat. Okay, then. So it's like... Right. That makes sense. Oh, yeah, I can also sync and engage with Corrin. I just haven't felt the need to, because, again... Corrin Engage is more useful if you're a combat unit, and Seadoll isn't. Because again, doing anything with Corrin prevents Seadoll from dancing, and Seadoll needs to dance. He's like Yuna. Except, hopefully, he doesn't need... people don't have to die for him to dance. And hopefully, Seadoll doesn't have to stop dancing. And this is leaves a few more spaces with... Okay, yeah, wow, that was kind of lucky. Yeah, stats don't really matter a whole ton for Alear at this point, but at least he's getting some. Oh, right, Yunaka's left behind. Yeah, if this was a Thracia escape map and you had to escape from everyone, that would actually be pretty dangerous. But as you can see, yeah, you're meant to start running now. I'm sure a lot of people enjoy fighting those things for experience, though. If I engage,
Emblem?
can I break that door with the Parthia? I can. Weird use of Lucina, but I'll take it. That is, like, I actually really like the fact that I've been saying, like, weird use of X, because that's the thing, I appreciate the fact that a lot of emblems have weird uses. You're on Miasma, and also that is a boss corrupted.
I'm sorry you're stuck with me. Now I have you. I see you.
Because there is a whole ton of, why not? Well, I mean, actually, this is subtracting 1 crit from him, but still.
You saved me.
There's a whole ton of Miasma down there, but at least this means I get to canter and I get to level up. But I don't want to canter into Miasma. I feel like Lapis hasn't really done much in this chapter. Like, honestly, Tamara has done more than her, which is saying something. I don't think that's a good idea, because look at that, defense 1. Yeah, don't try and choke point on Miasma. It's a terrible, terrible idea. Although I do like this tile, because flyers can get onto it, and not a whole lot of things can attack it. Well, actually, a few things can attack it, but still. Okay, that tile is safe from enemies running into there. So let's just stand on that tile. And, okay. Amber, are you going to be okay with this? Well, I mean, at least this is going to add to your crit rate with your axe. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't inherit Vantage on Amber. Because I feel like the regular Vantage isn't really, like, it requires you to be on 25% HP or less. That's low. And that's the only Vantage you get when you first had access to Leaf. So, yeah, right. That's still a boss. It's been a while since we had a generic corrupted boss. Oh, boy. And I got rid of Lapis's smash weapon. So, but I want to kill something with Tamara, because if I put you on Miasma, I need Tamara to level up, because then she gets Sandstorm, and then she becomes actually good. But, okay, I still kind of want to smash you out of the Miasma, because I don't think there's any way I can kill you otherwise. Ow, ow, why is it with Tamara and getting hit by hammers lately? But at least you're off the Miasma. Okay, you can... I suppose I could actually do that with... Or I could have you... Oh, this is why I wanted to give him Surge, by the way, because, yeah, you can use Surge at range with Byleth. Not really sure if this is the best idea, but with that, you go there. Seadoll dances. He gets to go again with his amazing long-range magic. As long as he doesn't step in the Miasma, because that would not end well for anyone. Are you not even one round? Oh, because you don't double. Yeah, because you're not clan. You don't actually have to beat the boss, but it's fun to try. Yeah, I'm going to actually hold off on doing anything with you just yet then. Let's finish that guy.
But to win.
And now we've got a couple of bow users down there. If I engage and use Ragnall, I actually do one-shot you. It is something I didn't really expect from Amber, but the fact that he gets to like outright one-shot a lot of things with Ragnall, which can be nice for, you know, not being able to, like, not taking a counterattack from certain dangerous enemies like mages. Oh, you don't even double. I'm assuming that that's a sniper. I actually thought it was the other way around. I thought the other archer was unpromoted, but nope, that's definitely a sniper. Okay, in that case, do you one-shot Jean? You do! Right, I have to not do that, but I can cancel at least. And that still puts me in range. Or I could make use of, like, actually make use of Byleth and do this. This is why I like Byleth on mystical units. That's not good. I need to stop you from reaching Tamara at all costs. But I can do that, I believe, just by plugging that gap with Clan here. And that also breaks you, so I don't take a counterattack. If I had put a Leer down there, maybe that would have been a health bar break, but 38 attack, 12 defense. Not a whole ton of HP on Ivy, though. I got rid of Physic on you, didn't I? But I can always rescue Staff Ivy. Or I could freeze the boss, and that would solve a lot of issues. Yeah, this game does give you a lot of, like, tools and a lot of options for various situations. I like that. Because, yeah, now he's stuck. Oh, and Lapis could actually go in. She's not saying on my... Okay, she's not saying on miasma. She doesn't get, like, one-shotted, does she? He's got 38 attack. She has 9 defense. I think that's, like, 29 damage.
Allow me.
Okay.
I should learn from you.
I think that's, like, twice Lapis has been kill-stole in this chapter. And meanwhile, you're falling behind. But it's fine. She got a few level ups earlier in the chapter. Hello there. Oh, no, you are going for Lapis.
No!
Kind of wish she had Wrath right now. Still, the boss is almost dead. And Seedol is actually kind of far back, though. So I might be... I think I remember I did some kind of, like, epic rescue maneuver in my first run and got Seedol out, like, from, like, really far away. So let's see who wants to take the boss kill. Oh, wait, what am I saying? Tamara probably should take the boss kill. Well, she doesn't even die if I do that. Of course, if I do this, she probably does die. But, does she finish you with Fenzelia? Yes, and she's guaranteed to hit, so I think this is fine. It's not like you'll spontaneously gain Vantage or something like that.
Me too.
And goodbye. It's funny how they still get the slow thing. Oh, it just disappeared because, you know, didn't even have a death quote. Okay, you'd finally get... Okay, you're getting lucky with build, honestly. Maybe this is Tamara's redemption arc, but we have Sandstorm now, and that's the main thing that matters. So, yeah. Seedol... Do I really want to use a rescue staff used just for this? Honestly, I kind of do. Oh, that's my last rescue staff, but...
I'm okay.
It's not like I have anything to lose from waiting another turn. It's more just, I just, you know... Just feels a bit weird to have... Oh, there's a chest there, too! And I just noticed that, so I would have missed that chest if I had done the rescue maneuver, so yes. Thank you, me waiting one more turn, because, yeah. Talisman. Okay. Give you +2 resistance, and is also a board game that I think Games Workshop made. Or at least published. And yeah, they're nowhere near close to us. And I probably shouldn't just waste staff uses on experience right now. I think I should instead. I can do this, though.
Join me for one song.
Yes, literally one song, because this will be all the engage you get. And probably all the engage you get with Corrin this whole playthrough, because I'm definitely taking Corrin off of you after this.
Our paths diverge for a moment. Divine One, Emblem Corrin. Thank you.
Yeah, 13 turns seems like a lot. That map felt faster than it actually was. I guess just because the enemies were... I could kind of tear through them with my current party. But oh boy, the difficulty will even itself out later, don't worry. In a few chapters, we're going to encounter some pretty brutal resistance.
All right, we're safe.
Hang on. Someone's at the entrance.
Don't tell me. More of the corrupted?
Is everyone okay? I saw all those monsters coming in and got worried.
In Aaliyah's mind, this is even worse.
Vale?
Oh my! We meet again. Did you defeat the monsters?
Yes, we did. Every last one.
We Dimitri'd them.
I'm glad. How have you been?
And speaking of Dimitri...
I was surprised to see you out in that blizzard. I hope you found the cathedral.
Whatever game you're playing, stop it.
Huh? Are you mad about something?
Don't act like you forgot. I can see through your lies now.
Lies? What do you mean? I promise you, I'm not...
Not a step closer! You stay where you are, Fell Princess.
How did you know?
Just looking at you, I feel again the shame of losing father.
You took my country from me. My father. What more do you want?
The people you killed. They had families. But you don't care, do you? All that pain? You don't even give it a second thought.
Wait a moment. I killed people? Who?
Drop the act. You know what you did. How dare you show your face here? You murdered my mother and stole the rings.
I didn't. Please believe me.
Believe you? Like I believed we were friends? I won't make that mistake again.
We've got to do something.
Let her go. It's probably a trap.
You're right.
Divine One? Are you alright?
I'm fine. But the next time I see Vale, I swear.
So I really like that scene, because we, the audience, we know that Vale is telling the truth there, that she's either brainwashed or is suffering from some kind of evil personality implanted into her, and that, technically speaking, she was not the one who killed Lumera, so, and she doesn't even remember what her other personality does. We're not authorized for this particular kitty.
Yes?
But Alear and the other royals don't know that. So it just creates this moment of dramatic irony, where... sorry about that, Jade. I really want to use Jade at some point. But yeah, that just dramatic irony is great, and I also like how... This is also another reason why I like Alear as a character, I think more than a lot of people do. And that's that this game is not afraid to... Also, that line's kind of dark from Yunaka. We might see that later.
Thank you.
This game isn't afraid to actually, like, have Alear show some outright callous behavior towards people, but, like, when he feels like he has good reason to. It's just like, okay, I can just say this because we just got, like, Corrin. They never would have let Corrin do that in Fates. Like, I don't know, like, Corrin, I'll probably talk more about Corrin later, but it's just... I think my issue with Corrin is I don't so much dislike them as, like, a character conceptually. I think they're fine. The problem is how the game used them. Mostly the fact that the game just had to keep Corrin squeaky clean at all times, and could never let them exhibit any flaws or anything. And it was just like... Here, at least, you get to see, you know, Alear actually act on these flaws here. Like, he clearly... just holds his mother's killer in so much contempt that he can't... And also the fact that, like, I feel like he must feel, like, a huge sense of betrayal in that he thought that him and Vale were friends, and then finding out that Vale did that. And just that, too. And that blinds him to the fact that it's pretty obvious that there's more going on with Vale. And he can't see that right now. He's just too blinded by anger.
That's right.
Like, these flaws don't really show themselves super often, I would say, but the fact that they're at least there makes Alear a little more interesting to me than, again, Corrin, or also Byleth, who wasn't allowed to speak at all.
Ooh. Ah.
Oh yes, it would scar them for life to have Corrin come and touch their face. Speaking of which, yeah, I hope I'm probably milking the face-touching jokes too much. It's just that, like, regarding I was talking kind of earlier about censorship, it's just like, I just think it's kind of hilarious, just the whole face-touching minigame, and... I'll go over this more when I do Corrin's paralogue, but I have... Yeah, the backlash to the localization of Fates really, really annoyed me, and sometimes I feel like making fun of that is sort of my way of coping. So, like, I just like to joke about the fact that Corrin is obsessed with touching people's faces and just how weird that would be. Because, according to... I don't think we'll see it in this playthrough because it's her A-bond conversation with Vander, which requires you to get her to bond 20 with Vander. But, Corrin face-touching is actually canon. Corrin being obsessed with face-touching. Actually canon. And they even make a joke about the localization too by having Corrin say, depending on where you're from, it's a pastime.
What?
But, yeah. Okay. You know what? I can kind of see Amber being one of the people who's scared of ghosts. But anyway, as I said, I'll talk more about that that later. But as a chapter in its own right, I think this one's kind of nice, and it has an escape objective, which we haven't really seen so far in this game, so that adds a little bit of variety.
If I may.
And yeah, overall, it's a pretty solid chapter. With the exception of the one issue that, well, I don't like that they put Corrin on Seadoll. It's just, it gives you kind of the wrong idea of how to use Corrin, because Corrin's a really good emblem, and you kind of learn none of that by having her start on Seadoll. But now, I'll see you again next time as we head back to the Somnial and discuss Seadoll, Corrin's Bond Rings. See you all then.